Right, next up, Fulham versus Manchester United. I tell you what, this is going to be a good game for the neutral to watch. Fulham, as we know, flying in the Premier League at the minute. As we know, Manchester United definitely aren't flying at the minute. Their engine seems to have faltered there quite regularly this season. If I look at the table, Rob, Fulham in 10th place, does that necessarily reflect how good they've been, or is that just because... I mean, they'd like to be higher than 10th, but if you look at the teams above them, Brighton, Villa, Bournemouth, Newcastle, I guess they've been a little bit more consistent, less draws. Fulham with 9 draws, but this is 10th versus 13th, Rob. Who would have ever thought the United would be the team in 13th in this fixture?
Listen, Fulham are a good side, right? Fulham are the favourites for this game. How many times have you said that over the years? They're playing Man United, they're favourites for me. United at the moment are all over the place. United, if they can't go and put on a low block against the team, struggle. And these are the games, I heard Amorim say this a few weeks ago. He's going like, Arsenal result, Liverpool result. Our fans are cool with us going and sort of, putting everyone behind the ball. The test is going to come against Southampton's and Brighton. At first I was thinking, test? Southampton? But he was right, because when they were now playing against those teams where the expectation switches and everybody expects United to be the team on the attack, they've looked vulnerable, especially with that system where they've only got a couple of players in midfield. So I think it's going to be a difficult game for them. I remember we played Fulham, man. They're a good side.
Of course.
They're good.
They move the ball around brilliantly.
Yeah.
They're quick.
And off the bench, they've got players that can change the game. Muniz, Harry Wilson, Traore.
I would argue Fulham have got a better squad than Man United in terms of like player for player.
I think you're right.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I think they're a better 100%.
Side. This is why when that question that person asked earlier about is it with the league, and I think you look at some of the players in some of these teams. Even your Bournemouth and Kirkes and Semenya and these guys, and these are good players that could get into any team in and around the top 4, the top 6, say. Certainly they would get into United's team. You look at some of the players like, Iwobi's been having a great season. Jimenez is better than any of the strikers that United have got.
Yeah,
he's better than Højlund, in my opinion. He's better than Xerxes. He's Premier League proven player, right? You've got players like Smith Rowe. They've got a good side. A decent defence.
Yeah. Anderson,
really well. I think. Anthony Robinson would definitely get into United's side.
They've just got the players that fit the system. And Man United have got no players that fit the system.
Yeah.
None.
The reverse fixture to this game, if you remember, was in August, first game of the season. It was 1-0 United. Xerxes bagged the first goal.
They're a bit fortunate that game as well.
And they were very fortunate that game. But Rob, you talk about Fulham being the favourites, and I agree with you. However, Fulham have won just one of the last 18 games against United, right? Picking up a 2-win at Old Trafford last season. And Fulham have scored exactly 2 goals in each of their last 5 Premier League matches. They've only done that once before. And, you look at the teams, they're poles apart in terms of confidence. Fulham come into the game after that 2-0 win at Leicester. But United, deflated after losing 3-1 to Brighton. And let's not forget, United face Rangers tonight at Old Trafford in the Europa League at 8 o'clock.
And that's going to be a tough game, right? Rangers, they may not have been as good in the Scottish League, but in the Europa League, they played all right. Remember 100%. The game they gave Tottenham? They gave them a real tough game. And that's going to be a high-energy game, I feel. I'm not saying United will necessarily lose that, but it's a high-energy game of them. And then Sunday got to go away to Fulham. That's not an easy...
There's always an extra edge when it comes to the Scotland sort of Scottish teams playing the English team. They love to get one over on the English team.
There's loads of Rangers fans there.
Yeah.
That's a tough game, but it's that having that game just before then going to play Fulham. We've had a whole week on the training ground. I'll tell you, I don't fancy United at all. I'm sorry. I've got to go Fulham.
It's all good. And Fulham, as I said, in 10th, they're looking to creep up the table a little bit. If they win this one, they could be a step closer to getting into Europe. And remember what happened the last time Fulham were in Europe? They got to the final, I think. And lost to Atletico Madrid on extra time. Simon Davis and all of them. Yeah.
I mean, they're only 5 points off of like 5th place. as it stands now. You know,
but that's why I asked that question, Nick. Does the table, as it stands, represent really the season Fulham are having? I don't think it does. I mean, 9 draws,
you look at
mad.
who's above them. Newcastle have had a good season, but they're up and down.
Yeah,
Bournemouth have had a fantastic
Brighton
season. Villa
have
had a, you know, I thought Villa would really fall off because of being in the Champions League. They've been fantastic. You know, I think the standard of the league has really gone up. I think there's, as you say, I think there's about, outside the traditional top 6, I reckon about 8 or 9 clubs have got players that could go into the top 6 clubs.
I agree.
100%. Like you've got like. You know, you guys are struggling this season, yeah?
We've got Bowen,
right?
we've got Kudus.
But you've got players like Kudus, Bowen. These guys, you know, I mean, Paqueta, I know he's having a bad season. These guys would play in top 6 teams easily.
Eze would. You know, Fulham have got a couple of players. Brighton have definitely got.
Mateta as the season he's been having.
I can't lie though, right? I will stick up for United fans a little bit here. This game is 7 o'clock on Sunday. Right, I'm not sure what the train situation is.
But then maybe that gives the players a little recovery time.
Yeah, it gives them more time.
But I mean,
who wants to play at 7 o'clock on a Sunday?
That's mad.
Away.
Well, they're all travelling from London, so they won't.
That's true. That's true. I forgot to say that. Well done, Nick. That is true. It's only a quick hop across the pond.
Yeah, probably got a walk home.
Yeah. Score predictions for this one then.
I'll go Fulham.
Last game of the weekend.
2-0 Fulham.
2-1 Fulham. I'm with the 2-1 as well.
Harry Wilson to score and give it that in front of the away fans, please, just like he did when he played for Derby at Old Trafford. I will go. Yeah, I like 2-1. I like 2-1. Yeah. I'll go Fulham to win that one. 2-1.
None of us predicting a United.
Do you know what?
win.
I'm sure Flex would agree with us though with our score predictions.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll tell you what, they're lucky, Man United, that there were so many poor teams because they could, in a normal season, they could really be dragged into this.
100%.
Yeah, I totally agree.